Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do the 10 things not yarn about me, which is 10 things about me that have nothing to do with knitting or crocheting. The first thing about me that has nothing to do with yarn is the diamond painting. I love my diamond paintings. They keep me sane. Number two, I have a story for you about when I was a teenager. I had a steady boyfriend. We went together for 2 years and were madly in love. Well, I was looking for him one day all over town and couldn't find him. So a friend of his pulled up in his car alongside of me and said, I told him, have you seen so-and-so? And he said, oh yeah, I know where he is. And get in the car. It's a small town. We all know each other. So I got in the car and he said, oh yeah, he's at a party. We used to have parties out in the woods all the time back then. So I didn't think anything of him driving out to this back road. Well, then he stopped the car and there was no party. Not anybody in sight. So I started getting really nervous because this guy had kind of a bad reputation. And hand to God, his steering wheel started smoking and started on fire. Well, I jumped out of that car and he was, of course, trying to put the fire out. And I ran. And I got to the end of the dirt road. And I looked one direction and it was all dark. And I looked in the other direction and I saw the lights from the town. So I kept running and I got home. Skip ahead a few years later, after graduation, he murdered his girlfriend and put her body in the trunk of his car and was driving over the line to the next state when he got pulled over. And he was arrested, and to this day, he's still in jail. So I really think God saved me and set that steering wheel on fire. I really do. Another thing about me, let me see my notes. My mom, she was my best friend, and we talked on the phone every day, visited almost every day. She was great with my kids. I just loved her so much. And she had autoimmune disease called scleroderma, and it caused her skin and arteries to harden. And so she passed away when she was 46 and I was 24. So that was hard on me. I just miss her so much still. Another thing, let me see my notes. Oh, my sister. When it was just me, my mom, my dad, and my sister, and they got divorced when I was 10. So, my dad was still in my life, and I loved him to pieces. He passed away too. But he always visited and took us on weekends and stuff. But it was me, my mom, and my sister. And my sister, straight A student, very athletic, joined sports. And one day she came down with a really bad headache. My sister was not. I was the complainer, not her. She never complained. So she went to the hospital. And back then they didn't know what anything was. They just stuck her in quarantined until her brain swelled so bad they had to rush her to the big city hospital. And it ended up being meningitis. And she is still with us, but she is severely brain damaged and she lives with assisted living. So, that's another thing about me is that I am very lonely. When I was a child, I think I was spoiled because I had all 4 grandparents, both my parents, and now everybody's gone. So I am lonely, and I don't like to rely on my children to keep me company because I know they have their own lives and everything, but it's hard because it really just makes my day when I get to be around the kids, which doesn't happen very often. Another thing about me, I love my horror movies. I love all movies. I love movies more than regular TV. I'll stay up 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Sometimes the sun comes up and I'm like, whoops, I forget to go to bed. But another thing about me, another heartbreak. Sorry, this is all heartbreaking stuff, but all I ever really wanted to do was be a wife and a mom, and I loved it. And I loved, I worked part-time to help with the money, when the kids were little, I just loved being a mom. And when my son was 5 and the girls were 14 and 17 or so, I came home from work one day and all my husband's things were gone. No note, no warning, no nothing, just gone. And I found out a few days later that he had taken off with a girl that he worked with. So that sent me for quite the loop. Then I was a single mom with 3 kids. And of course, he couldn't pay me any money because he was saving for an apartment to get with his new love. Oh boy. So that was another low time in my life. We're friends now. I just, water under the bridge. They were together 2 years. Now he's been with another lady for like 16 years, so it's all good now. But that sent me for a loop at the time. Can't even read my own writing, for heaven's sakes. I can't read my writing. Oh. My love of animals. Oh my gosh, if I could live on a farm. I would have a sloth, a slow loris, bats. I would have hedgehogs. I would have one of everything. And I know it's cruel to have a slow loris and all. I wouldn't really do it, but I would love to even go visit. Love animals, especially exotic animals. I would have a whole big bird room and everything. Aviary, I would have everything. Ferrets and bunnies, and I just love animals. Don't love their poop, but I love them. If I was rich. The 9th thing, I have extremely low self-esteem, especially now that I'm gaining weight. Anyway, comments from all of you mean a lot to me. I have a very loving following, and I love you all, and I thank you so much for your lovely comments. I know I gotta get out there more, I know. And the 10th thing about me, which I will make a video on one of these days because it's a big one. I am the mother of a murdered child. When my oldest daughter was 24, and I know I tell you all I have 3 children, and I do have 3 children because she's still with me. But when she was 24, she would be 35 by now. She was murdered by a serial killer out in the city, and I had custody of her daughter for 6 years, and now she lives with my daughter and my son-in-law. But so that was a big shock, when the homicide detectives tell you they had to ID your daughter's body through dental records. That's pretty bad. I guess she was out in the elements for a while. So that was bad, but I'm going to wrap this up, and that'll be another video for another day. But I love you all, and thank you for being part of my family. God bless. Bye-bye.